today I'm going to show you how to make smoked chicken salad for croissants, and you are going to be making this in class for yourself. Sometimes we may make this for a luncheon or something like that, but in class, obviously, when it's practice, you're making only 2 sandwiches, one for you, one for your partner. So I'm kind of going to show you the ingredients, and then I'm going to take you through the process. So obviously the first thing you're going to do is you're going to make chicken. That's going to take the longest. You and your partner each get 2 chicken breasts. Now in class, the chicken breasts we buy from GFS, they're pretty thin, so if you just cook them whole, they're totally fine. I got chicken breasts from Jewel, and they were pretty thick, so I actually cut them down just to cook it faster. You can cut it down. It does not say that in the recipe, but if you want to save yourself time, you're just going to be shredding this later. So whether you cook it whole or you cook it in little cubes, it doesn't matter. Okay? You're also going to be cooking. You're going to cook the chicken in butter, some salt and pepper, and to give it a smoky flavor, you are going to use liquid smoke. It's like, if you smell it, it smells very smoky. It's like hickory-like smell, and it's just an enhancement. It's very concentrated, so a little goes a long way, okay? Now when you mix, once this is all cooked, which I'll show you how to do that, you're gonna mix it with, it's a cold chicken salad, and we have some toasted almonds, which I've already toasted and chopped up for you. We're gonna have some mayonnaise, some lemon zest, lemon juice, and then some green onion, which I've already cut up, and some celery, okay? So let's start cooking our chicken, okay? So I'm just gonna turn this on, and I'm going to melt my butter first. Throw that away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to season my chicken with the salt and pepper, and I'm just going to toss this with my hand. My hands are clean. If you want to use gloves, please be my guest. Alright, so we are good to go. Almost. So I just have a little piece of plastic in there. Alright. So it seems like it's a lot of butter, but you want this to be very rich, which is why we're cooking it in butter opposed to like olive oil or something. Alright, so I am ready to go. I'm just going to raise this up a little bit, and I'm going to put my chicken in there to start cooking it. And you add the smoke last. Once all the chicken's in there, then you'll add the smoke. Because it's concentrated, you want some of it to cook off, and you just want it to have a smoky undertone when it cooks, after you, like when you bite into it. Since I just touched raw chicken, I'm going to wash my hands. Alright, so I'm starting the cooking process. I'm just going to flip these around. And then I'm going to add my liquid smoke. Smells amazing. So if you don't have a smoker, that's how you give it a smoky flavor. Liquid smoke. Very concentrated. When you smell it, you'll be like, this is amazing, I want to add more. No, it's very concentrated. So now I'm kind of just going to let this sit and cook until you see no more pink. And like I said, it's like a chicken salad you've never had before. This gets all shredded up. So that it's really important that it's all cooked. If you overcook it a little, it's not, it's not going to matter if it's overcooked just a little. I mean, you don't want to burn it, but this is one of those forgiving recipes. So I'm going to let this cook. And then I'm going to move over here. I'm going to mix my filling together. So here is my celery. Now I like celery pretty whole. It's such a thinly sliced, and I like keeping it whole. Some people absolutely don't really like celery or don't like how it looks. So you can also mince this. It's, again, one of those forgiving recipes that you can do just about anything you like. Now, if you don't like celery or you're allergic to, or something, then don't add it. But it does add that nice crunch to it. And if you see how thin I cut these, they're pretty thin. Just go very slow. quality over quantity is the motto. And then I'm going to add, and I need 2 tablespoons roundabout. I did not measure this with a measuring spoon. I kind of just put in what I thought would be necessary. Then I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of green onion. Green onion is not as potent as like regular onion, so some kids are like, I don't like onion. Well, you won't even really know this is in there, especially when you mince it. It just adds a good flavor. That's where flavor comes from, is from onion. So when kids say, I don't like onion, yeah, you probably don't like it raw. Most of us don't, but in food it tastes amazing, or you'll have no flavor, okay? Then I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise. Just like so. I'm just going to move this around. I'm going to multitask, which is what I'm hoping you're going to do in class, multitask. That's why this is one of those beginning labs to get you back into the kitchen, getting familiar with doing a lot. Oops, silly me. If you don't want to waste any of that chicken, you'll really like this. To that, I'm going to add my lemon zest, and you're only going to use a little, ½ teaspoon, which I've already zested. And if you forgot how to do zest, you're just going to take your lemon, the outside, and go against the small side, grate back and forth until you have the amount that you want, which that we want a ½ teaspoon roundabout. And then you want fresh lemon juice, which I just squeezed some lemon, put it right in there. Just need about 1 teaspoon. You don't want to add too much or it'll be too zesty. And then we're going to add some salt, which I am going to go grab. Alright, so it says to taste, so I'm just going to eyeball this and put about a 1/4 teaspoon to a ½ teaspoon. Depends on your flavor preference. And then some pepper. And don't forget, I've also seasoned the chicken. And you'll also should have seasoned the chicken at this point, so, you know, be sparing. You can always add more, you can't take away. So I'm just going to mix this together. And right now I know it doesn't look as visually appealing as you would want it to, but don't forget you're going to be adding all that protein, all that shredded chicken to this. We're just marrying these flavors together. It's almost like a dressing for your chicken, aka chicken salad. And then for some crunch, and if you're allergic to nuts, don't even think of putting this in. I took some almonds and I just toasted just like 6 almonds in the skillet. And then once I smelled that they were cooking, I took them right off and I chopped them up, and then you're good to go. So I'm going to add that right to there. And again, that's just for some crunch, different textures. Okay. Now as you wait, you're not going to eat this right away because you want that chicken to cool. So I would put this into a baggie and wait until the next day. Alright, so the chicken is just about done, and you can see all that fat has pretty much cooked into the chicken breast. And there's no liquid, it's nice and firm. So what I'm going to do is, there's going to be some food processor set up, and you're going to put all of that chicken directly into that food processor. As you go, so start washing your pan immediately while one person grinds. You both don't need to stare at it as it grinds. So the next thing you're going to do, you're going to put your top on, and you're literally going to shred this, shred this, shred this. That's why you're using a food processor opposed to just cutting it by hand. You want it really, really shredded. So I'm going to turn it on. And you can see the steam, that's fine, because you're going to let it cool today, and then you're going to eat it tomorrow. Your teacher will give you lots of time for presentation, to sit down and enjoy your sandwich. Most students really, really, really like this. Something different to enhance your palate. Okay, so if you come over here and take a look at this, you'll see it's all ground up, and that's what you want it to be. All cooked, ground up chicken. Okay, so now what you'll do is you'll put this into a baggie and cool it for the next day. Remember, we already have our fillings separate, so all these flavors will marry, the smoked flavors will marry, and then you'll join them together tomorrow. If I put the hot chicken in here, this is dairy, so it will cause, potentially hazardous, and we don't want you to get sick. So we'll see. Okay, so we're back, And my chicken was cool, so I added it directly to that mayonnaise mixture. And now I'm just going to stir this up to incorporate it all together. It's almost like tuna salad. Have you ever had that? Egg salad. It looks different than what you're probably used to with food because it's all crumbly, but it tastes very good. So just mix this up. If you think it's a little dry, you can always add more mayonnaise, salt, pepper if you want for flavor, whatever you'd like. Okay. So now, what we're going to do is you're going to have croissant rolls for you and your partner. So I am going to take one, and I'm just going to line it with some spinach and arugula. In your recipe, it says just use arugula. Any lettuce would do just fine. This is going to add another color, texture. Especially if we're going to serve this at a catering event, we want presentation is key. Now, quantity is important that it's all consistent. So if this was a catering event, we would use portion scoops. For the purpose of this demo, I am just going to use 1/3 of a cup portion. Let's put this on here, like so. And then I am just going to take my straight edge. It's your lucky day. I'm going to give 2 scoops. Right on there. Okay, and then I'm going to put a little bit more lettuce on top. And then I'm going to garnish it with toothpick. And then you can put fruit or maybe more salad, chips, fries, whatever you're going to serve. And then your teacher will be taking your photo for this lab. Enjoy.